Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. And this video is to bring you a closer look at the General Lock Afb14-Du. This is a flush bolt that is used in aluminum storefront exclusively. I've never seen a flush bolt like this in any other type of door application. Not that you couldn't use it in other door types, but this type of flush bolt's used in aluminum storefront. And when you have a flush bolt that looks like this, in terms of its edge preparation, those tiny little radius corners, that's a dead giveaway for aluminum storefront because they don't really use a lot of square corners in aluminum storefront. If you ever notice the hinges, those are always, not always, but pretty much always radiused corner, a real tiny radius corner like a 5/32 sort of radius. Just trying to get the rest of this out of here. This is available in the dark bronze and aluminum finish. The DU in this part number, of course, stands for Duranautic or dark bronze. There we go. Okay, so this is a very inexpensive type of flush bolt. However, it's really important that we understand that it's 1/4 inch offset is what they're saying. It has a 1/4 inch offset because there's more than one offset that are on these types of flush bolts, which we're going to get to in a moment. That's what the face of it looks like. You're not going to see any of that when it's installed in the door. You're going to sneak that into your door, and you'll just have a couple of screw holes, and your door is going to be, basically flush to the outside of this. You'll notice that this has a radiused edge to it. So you'd be using this, on a door that had a radiused edge, which is very common in aluminum storefront. Okay, let's take some basic dimensional properties. Overall length of the body looks like it's about 4 1/8. Overall width of the body, about 7/8. Okay. From the face of the mounting tab to the face of the flush bolt, it's a 1/4 inch. This is going to include a piece of threaded rod. Get that threaded down in there. Actually, you're going to probably use certainly use the much longer threaded end. Lots of threads, little thread. That'll be the top or bottom of the door. Overall length of this rod, and that's just 1/4 20, by the way. Actually, I don't know that that's 1/4 20. Overall length of the rod is 12 inch. I don't know that's 1/4 20. It very likely could be. Why would you need to know if it's 1/4 20? Because maybe you were doing an 8-foot door and you wanted to have a longer rod. I'm actually going to grab a 1/4 20 nut and confirm this thread type. The reason I question is this is made in Asia. It could be a metric thread for all I know. So let's take a look. And indeed, I have a 1/4 20 nut here, and that threads on without trouble. The point is if you wanted to use this flush bolt in an application where you needed a longer distance, let's say you had an 8-foot tall aluminum storefront. Yeah, you may not be able to get this longer rod from General quickly. It's just 1/4 20. Go to the hardware store and grab some 1/4 20. Now, the rest of the material in the package is going to be the flush bolt head itself, the bolt head, the guide. So you're going to get your bolt head, and that's just plastic, so this won't tolerate a lot of abuse. That's just plastic on there. That's going to go into the bolt guide, okay, in your installation. A nut that you would be able to get that threaded down into the unit and then cap it off, finish it off with the nut so that it helps keep it in position, which it will because the preparation is square and that bolt head is square. That'll prevent that from spinning, but you don't really want that rod to move in the door at all this way. So, I could thread that down and just keep threading. It appears to be threaded all the way through. You don't want that bolt to move because the rod, it's possible that it would move. So that nut is going to be down there to finish that off. Then you're going to get you're going to get 2 screws that are in the matching color, as seen here, to hold that onto the door. You're going to get a single screw for the guide, and that will, if you ever notice an aluminum storefront door, they'll have a little hole with a screw up at the top or the bottom, and that's just to hold that guide in place, and that's all that is. It'll have some thread forming feature to the tip of that screw. Okay, now let's switch to the screen view where we can further investigate the extended description, some supporting documentation. So this is the extended description of the item that we're looking at. That factory image doesn't give us a lot to look at, but nonetheless. US 20 dark bronze. I'm not familiar with US 20. We just call it DU for Duranodic, and that will match your dark bronze finishes, no doubt. Steel base material. Don't know about that. Definitely not. I'm going to say that this is made of zinc, die-cast zinc. Then again, available in 2 different finishes. Aluminum and dark bronze, or Duranodic. Now, the manufacturer's page is here. That's going to allow us to pull up not only all of the general lock products we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, but also a link to the product catalog. Let's go ahead and fire that up. As we scroll through here, we can see a lot of different, locking, types of hardware. I could have just done a find function on the keyboard for Afb14, take us right to that page. 1/4 inch back set. There's that pesky back set again. What does that mean? We're going to talk about that in a moment. Because 1/8 of an inch back set is available as well. This page shows, this section of the catalog shows a lot of aluminum storefront door hardware, of which this type of flushbolt is a very common item. Obviously, cloned copies and retrofit pieces for Adams Right material, lock bodies, whatnot. More aluminum storefront with these overhead center hung style closers. That would be what's called a side load arm. That's what they call that. Surface closers. Now let's talk about that back set that they're referring to. Or was it offset? Back set. Let's talk about that. Now, if you recall earlier that I had said I had put the tape measure on the flushbolt, and I measured from the edge forgive this awful drawing. Okay, so this is the mounting post here, and that back set is the face of the latch to the face of the mounting post. This unit is a 1/4 inch, but what you have to know is obviously the manufacturer has 1/8 of an inch available. However, 3/16 exists as well. So you do need to be mindful that when you're ordering this type of flushbolt, that you get the back set correct, because there's more than one. General has 2, and there's at least 3 that I'm aware of. So a bit of a drag, but making it that you have to order the correct unit. But nonetheless, if you order the correct unit, you'll of course get the correct material headed your way. So we've discussed that. This catalog represents their product offering, and I can also point you in the direction of the master lock, the general lock installation master index. Okay, so this is just going to be documentation on all of their published installation instructions, which are handy to be able to have. In no particular order. If they've published it, we've captured the data and we have put it here just for review. Okay, So interesting information in that regard. Let's finish up this video on camera. Now, admittedly, we don't do a ton of general lock business, and I would have to say the reason for that is because there's really no shortage of places to buy quality imported builders hardware. There's no shortage of people who import from Asia, China, Taiwan. Well, this is made in Taiwan, but other places. There's just no shortage. However, because I have a lot of experience purchasing hardware from people that are in that business, because a lot of people buy the material, what I've decided on, what you're really purchasing is you're not purchasing the Flushbolt or the hinge or the inexpensive, very good quality exit device. What you're really purchasing is the customer service and the availability to ship promptly, reasonably promptly, to ship the product correctly, to do so from inventory, and to have a fair price. And I can tell you the times that I've used General on a project, or someone's asked for material and we've used them, it's been because I find it's no nonsense. The material just makes its way to you, and that's really what you want. I have no need to call them for technical support, or at least I haven't that I can recall. But what you're really buying, not the Flushbolt, is you're buying, they just get it on the way to you. Just it ships. Prompt, reliable, predictable, quality material at a very fair price. And that's what I decide is really what you're purchasing when you align yourself with these several and many different importers of hardware. So take a look at their catalog. I would encourage that you try their, I've just done a couple of reviews recently of a couple of their different locks. I had no problem with their locks at all. I didn't really find anything that I didn't like about them. Necessarily anything that was outstanding beyond, except that the grade 1 I just reviewed really did feel like it was tremendous value for the price. I felt that grade 1 lever lock, that cylindrical lock, was a very good lock for the money. Their door closers, hinges, etc. If it's in their catalog, it's very likely going to be in stock, and in stock very deeply. So that would be a reason to consider certainly general lock products. Any questions on the Afb14 quarter-inch backset or offset and a Duranautic finish or any other general product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.